Good morning and welcome to Planet in the Word Week 1. And this week you're going to start out by reading Genesis, and you're going to read about the 6 days of creation. And then you're going to read about the creation of Adam and him having the breath of life given to him. And then the subsequent creation of Eve. Now, there is a phrase in this passage that in English, once again, is sort of somewhat diluted, which I want to take a minute to address so that as you read through these passages, you understand clearly what's going on here, because later you're going to understand clearly what is being lost. So let's start out with the verse that we're going to focus in on, which is Genesis 2:18, and it says this: "The Lord God said, 'It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him.'" That is in the ESV. Now, in English, he is being made a helper that is fit for him. In Hebrew, this is actually 2 words. Now, our poor English translators actually did a fairly decent job with using the word a helper. Some translations will actually say a helpmate, which is okay, but it's actually doesn't even begin to cover the Hebrew connotation and meaning that's going on here. So let's examine it. In Hebrew, this is actually 2 words. It's an Etzer, Kenegdo. So let's start out with, we'll go over both of those. The first word is Etzer. Now, Etzer is often used in relationship to God or Yahweh in passages. In fact, that's one of the ways that we can get our understanding of what this word means, is because God is often called an Etzer to Israel. And what that means is he comes in and he provides for Israel, or he delivers Israel. It even goes as far as to mean a supporter, almost like a wall around, or a shield. All of these are words that are used when describing an Etzer, especially when it's God in his provision to Israel. So instead of sort of the watered down idea of a helper, what it really is someone who's coming in as a protector, as a teammate, as a shield, if you will. In fact, it sort of has the connotation of like, I've got your back, or I've got your 6, right? This is the person that comes in that can deliver you when you're in the middle of battle. That's what an Etzer does. When you're under attack, or when you're facing a struggle, an Etzer comes in and helps to deliver you, or defend you, or shield you. That's what that word actually means. So when it's talking about the creation of Eve as an Etzer, it doesn't mean this sort of assistant that the English word helper tends to make us picture. It really means sort of like a defender, this person who comes in with military force or the ability to help defend you and be a teammate. That "I've got your 6" thing is probably a really good description of what that sort of means in that passage. So the second word is Kenegdo. Now, Kenegdo is a preposition, and Kenegdo actually means literally in front of. That preposition, to be in front of. But it also means in the face of, or opposite in front of. So that opposite facing. In fact, you could probably understand it best as a mirror image, right? When I am standing in front of you, my right's to your left is to my right. We're facing each other. I am opposite in front of, but we are a mirror image of each other. In addition, it can also mean equal opposing force, meaning sort of if you push against me and I push against you, that equal opposing force in front of someone would be a really good idea of an Etzer Kenegdo. It's that mirror image that sort of opposes. In fact, if we wanted a really good visual of maybe an Etzer Kenegdo altogether, you would get sort of that scene from The Emperor's New Groove when Pacha and Cusco have to go back to back and they have to climb their way by pushing against each other out of the canyon walls. That would be a great example of what an Etzer Kenegdo is. It is equal opposing force that helps to sort of deliver you, stands behind you, and works with you. So before the fall, when God created Eve to be an Etzer Kenegdo to Adam, he created her in a way to be a shield, a protector, sometimes to come in and deliver, or for them to shield and protect each other. She was that equal opposing force in front of, this mirror image in front of him. There was that idea that they were to work together to protect and deliver each other. This is before the fall. So if we think about one of the consequences for partaking in the tree of knowledge of good and evil, in which God said you are not to eat from that fruit, we have to examine very carefully the consequence that God tells Eve is a consequence for having eaten the fruit. And you'll get it when you know what she's designed to do, and now you see the results of the fall. So this is Genesis 3:16, and it says, your desire will be the opposite of your husband, and he shall rule over you. The result of her doing what she was told not to do was the fact that now, instead of being an equal opposite helper, deliverer, protector, and shield, her husband was going to oppose her, and in addition, she would now be subservient to her. She would be subservient to him. So I hesitate to make a lot of application on this website. I really want to give you information and really encourage you to process through this. But I think it's important for us to note, and if you stop and you think about the marriages around you, especially those that are the results of two people that now walk in communion with the Lord, those that are doing the best job probably have components of that original design God created for marriage to be strengthened by them pushing against one another, both holding each other in check and yet strengthen each other by leaning against that equal opposing force, that protector, that intervener, that shield that we were supposed to do and be for each other in the original design. And probably a less successful marriage is one where the woman is always subservient in every way, shape, or form to the husband that she has. Now, please don't misunderstand me. I am not doing away with 1 Timothy. I am not doing away with the passages in Corinthians. I am merely saying that the original design for man and woman was something different than what we are currently dealing with. And yet those marriages around us that seem to be the most successful have those components as a part of them. I hope this makes you think. I hope it brings you some understanding as to what you're reading. I hope you have a great week. Happy New Year if you start this on the first of the year. Otherwise, thanks for stopping by in your first week of Planted in the Word. Have a good day.